Hello, good evening to you. Residents in Calderdale are counting the cost of the flash floods which swept through the area at the weekend. Hardest hit was the village of Luddenden, between Halifax and Hebden Bridge, where houses were flooded and cars swept away. Nearby villages and parts of Halifax itself were also hit. Officials from Calderdale Council are meeting residents tonight to work out what help can be given. With this report, here's Nick Wood.
At the height of the flooding, torrents of water swept through Luddenden village. Homes were flooded and gardens and roads swept away. The emergency services received over 400 calls for help from people stranded in their homes. The storms had fallen on tinder-dry moorland above the village, causing it to cascade down onto the lower ground. At one time there were fears that more homes on the river side would be swamped. Householders could only look on helplessly as the water steadily rose. Later, the full extent of the damage became clear. Residents in Brook Terrace were worried that their homes might collapse when a culvert gave way beneath the houses, carrying away tons of earth. The waters swept mud and silt through the village. A group of brand new houses where residents only moved in a few months ago were also affected.
I was fearful that the front door would give and all this water would come in the house. I was terribly frightened about that. I was upstairs in the windows, just in tears, not knowing what to do. I was frightened. I didn't know how I was going to get out of the house. The fire service didn't know if this road had collapsed, so they couldn't get us out. It was pretty frightening on Friday evening.
Calderdale Council is now assessing how they can help residents with the clear-up and possibly with compensation.
We're looking at other possible areas from which we could get support, see whether we can get central government support from the European community. But overall what we'll be trying to do is avoid for the people a prolonged period of uncertainty. We want to be able to say to them straightforwardly, as quickly as possible, this is what Calderdale Council can do to help.
An appeal has been launched by the National Trust for repair work on their land at Hardcastle Crags near Hebden Bridge. Hebden water, which runs through the valley, flooded, sweeping away pathways along its route. The torrent also broke down several wooden footbridges, carrying them 3/4 of a mile downstream. There are also fears for the wildlife in the area.
We've had a lot of damage to the banks and to the trees growing on the riverside, and we've lost nesting sites. We've lost nesting sites of dippers. Although I've never seen kingfisher here, there are reports that there were kingfisher, and I would imagine that they've suffered. And also ducks. There were ducks with young here, and I think we can safely assume that the young have suffered. And so the impact on the habitat and on the wildlife is enormous, but I don't think we've really yet discovered just how bad an impact it is.
As the clear-up continues, councillors and officials are now planning a series of public meetings over the next few days. Starting this evening, they'll be talking to villagers who've been affected and finding out what practical help and advice is most needed.